Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. My name is Kayla. I am an admissions advisor here at National Training. We're going to have our special guest, Steve Loftus with CRST, joining us here in just a few minutes. As we're letting everybody else kind of sign in and get acquainted with the system here, we're going to go through a little bit of the housekeeping. The first thing I like to cover is some of the icons that you're going to see on your screen. You might be joining us from your tablet or your desktop computer, or even a laptop, or even your smartphone. So the first icon that you see is this orange or red microphone. That's where everybody will be able later on to turn on their microphones and ask questions. And those are all deactivated right now because we are in the listen only mode. Number 2 is going to be your hand icon. That's how you can raise your hand if I'm going too fast, or if you want us to go into a little more detail on the topic that we are covering, or if you have a question that's relating to what we're talking about at that time, you can go ahead and raise your hand. If I could just get everybody to raise their hand so I know that you guys can hear me, I would appreciate that. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. And then I can put everybody's hands down all at once with one click of a button. The third icon is going to be your question icon. If you do have a question, but you don't have a microphone, or if you want to ask mid-conversation, you can go ahead and type it into there. That's like our chat box, and it'll come directly to me, and I can read the question out loud, and myself or Steve will be happy to answer it for you. So a little bit of information about who we are here at National Training before we jump over to Steve. We were incorporated in 1978 as a proprietary post-secondary vocational education institution. We are committed to providing a strong curricula with programs that emphasize practical, usable skills blended with a relevant general education foundation. We have a caring environment with personal attention and close faculty-student interaction. We do have an open door admission policy. We are Florida's oldest private truck driving school with our state-of-the-art training facility. We do have a 1.25 mile multi-lane highway that ensures safer, more efficient training. And over the last 43, almost 44 years, we have graduated over 40,000 students. So you might ask yourself the question, why drive a truck for a living? Simply put, job security. So to talk a little bit about job security, I would like to, at this point, invite Steve to join us. Steve, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Good evening.
How's it going? Thanks for joining us so everybody can hear all about your company, CRST.
Doing good. So
All right.
my name is Steve with CRST, and I've been in the industry for 25 years. So I'm going to talk a little bit about CRST this evening.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about the history of CRST.
So CRST was founded in 1955 by Harold and Mary Smith in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Originally, CRST stood for Cedar Rapids Steel Transport. However, the name was changed in 1971 to just CRST, keeping the essence of the name. We started acquiring companies. So as you can see there, or excuse me, 1974. 1984, CRST acquired McLoughlin Freight, which is our flatbed division, oversized heavy haul division, curbside division. And we've acquired multiple companies, 8 different companies at a time. And for the last 67 years, CRST has been privately held, still owned by the same family that founded the company. Hugh Ecker is our current sitting officer right now. And, the family still sits on the boards and everything. So, they've amassed 1.7 billion in assets and been very successful over the last 60 plus years.
That's wonderful. So what type of freight and what type of driving does CRST usually focus on?
So we do have regional dedicated and over the road routes. Okay. We do focus on a variety of things. So we haul 7 different types of trailers, which makes us a transportation solution. It allows us to haul anything for anyone, anywhere, at any time. Some of our bigger accounts would be like Caterpillar, pharmaceutical accounts. We haul for master brands, with 195 different accounts with Walmart, Ford, FedEx, UPS, Amazon. We do a lot of different things.
It's a little bit of everything, it sounds like.
It does, yeah. As you can see there, we have an expedited division, flatbed, home delivery. We have several accounts for Walmart or Home Depot, which does home delivery services, intermodal, drayage. We do quite a bit.
That's wonderful. So it sounds like a great opportunity for a lot of drivers who might not exactly know what really they want to do yet. So kind of elaborating on that, let's talk about your recent graduates that you hire that might come from a school like ours.
So the recent graduates, we do hire a lot from National because their students are some of the best trained students we get the honor of having. So, they come in very prepared, then they get prepared for their next lesson of over the road training. Their onboarding, they get, a lot of different things. So traditionally, the majority of our students, the national students that graduate, usually finish their training rather quickly. So our training will range between 21 to 30 days. National
Okay.
students actually kind of finishes in about 21 to 23 days because they're very well prepared. So, typically the students in their first year will, they'll make between 60 and 80,000 the first year. And really they can do a lot of whatever they want to do here because of our career services teams. And, we have a great variety of opportunities.
That's wonderful. So as a student driver or as a recent grad, you said $60,000 to $80,000 in their first year.
Yep.
I know a lot of people, one of the things that comes to their mind is what kind of home time can they expect while they're making that kind of money?
So a lot of that depends on where you live. Within certain areas of the country, you can be home daily. Certain areas of the country, you can be home weekly. Certain areas of the country, you can be home every 2 to 3 weeks. So it really depends on, where you live and what you do. Kaylee, if you'll go to the filter radius and stretch it out to 100 miles, there you go. Okay, it didn't change much. So, traditionally, people who live within 100 miles of Jacksonville, they're out every about 10 days and then home 2 to 3.
Okay.
If they're within 100 miles of Savannah, they're out 5 days and home 2, or 100 miles of Orlando, they're out 5 days, home 2. It all depends on where they live.
Let's see.
You got to do it by zip code.
Zip code. I don't know the zip.
34420.
This is another one I actually know. Yes, I mean there's lots of opportunities here, seeing different types.
Yeah, there's a lot of variance on what you can do and where you can go and stuff like that. So
that's wonderful. So as far as we talked about a little bit about home time, now what about benefits and things that kind of set CRST apart from other companies?
okay, so CRST has a huge array of benefits. I mean, we offer everything from medical, dental, vision, 401k, accident disability insurance, free life insurance, tuition reimbursement, paid endorsement programs, rider programs, driver per diem programs. We have a lot of benefits. So paid vacation, paid holidays, there's a lot of benefits we do offer our drivers. So it all depends. So medical is, through Blue Cross and Blue Shield, dental, VSP, and vision is VSP and Delta is dental. The thing we like to highlight though is our tuition reimbursement. We do offer the nation's leading tuition reimbursement. So basically the way tuition reimbursement works is CRST will give you $425 a month towards the school. Being that National is a partner school with us, all their students receive $425. So if you're receiving it through a loan, if you're receiving school tuition through a loan, you can set it up where we send this money right to your loan for you. You don't have to do anything. If you pay cash for school, we give the money directly to you. If you're using military benefit, we give the money directly to you. And that happens, for the price of the school or $8,000, whichever comes first. With endorsements, if you get your endorsements, we will pay for the endorsements.
Wonderful.
And we'll also include anywhere between 4 and 10 cents additional per mile just for the endorsements. So, and you have military there. If you are prior military, our Heroes to Highways program allows the veterans to acquire more money based on their time of service. To start with, per mile, 4 years of service starts the driver at 60 cents a mile. If they have post-9/11 benefits, they can use VA apprenticeship programs, which will add an additional 14 to 16,000 on top of their current pay. I mean, there's a lot of programs for our military veterans.
That's awesome, because we all do appreciate all of our veterans and military members for sure. Love to hear that. And I do get a lot of questions about things like that from our students here. I say this here with the Women Go the Distance. We are more and more every month seems like getting more and more women in each of our classes. Can you explain a little bit more on that for me?
Sure. So women haven't taken a large role. We have quite a few female drivers, and to be honest with you, they're phenomenal. So we have groups where the women work together. You know, they're very, very valued, and you know, they actually train a lot of guys. I mean, they've been stepping up into trainers roles, and you know, with the mentorship programs, they've been, you know, heading some of the accounts, and a lot of our female drivers have actually been moving into corporate roles.
That's
So
awesome.
a lot of programs for our females that come out and do a phenomenal job, and they do. Oh, there's Carolyn. That
Yeah.
woman right there is a beast. Um, I love Carolyn. She's a phenomenal driver. Like you said, it's 1.6 million miles safe, and she has been all over the map. She's incredible.
Yeah, I love it because, like I said, we are getting every class. It seems like we have more women every single class every month, and I love to see that change in the industry as well. So as far as the type of equipment that you guys have, what kind of equipment can people anticipate driving when they drive for CRST?
So we run a 100% Freightliner fleet.
Mhm.
We are a 100% automatic fleet, which
Okay.
means, you know, all our trucks are automatics. All our trucks are equipped with APUs. They're all equipped with refrigerators. They're fully condoed tractors, which means 2 bunks, plenty of room. We are governed at 68 miles an hour. So we do equip our equipment with the latest safety features, such as collision avoidance systems, lane departure systems, anything we can do to, you know, make the trucks safer. So we have adaptive cruise control, collision avoidance, lane departure, front and side sensing monitors, blind spot cameras, forward facing cameras. The trucks are all powered with a state-of-the-art communications center that's powered through PeoplesNet. Basically, those individuals can, you know, email the company, talk to them as if, you know, they're sitting right there. It's your ELD, it's your maps and routing system. You can email your homes. You can do a lot through our system, which is phenomenal.
Very good. I mean, safety obviously is number one priority in everything that we do here in the CDL industry for sure.
Correct.
I did just get a question when you were talking about the cameras, asking if there's any cameras that face the interior cab of the truck.
No, great question. No, our company, Hugh Ecker, our president, has determined and deemed the inside of a tractor the private space of a driver. So none of our cameras look inside the cab. All our cameras are outward facing only.
That's good to know. We get a lot of that question here at school as well, so I love hearing that. But you know, having those cameras for the collision purposes are great. All right, so at this time, is there anything else that you want to touch base on, Steve, before we open the phone lines for some questions?
I mean, yeah. So, you know, every company has a lot of things. We have 195 different accounts. The one thing that we do offer our drivers, which I think is a phenomenal program with us that a lot of companies don't have, is a career service team. So with our career service team, at 90 days, these individuals are designed and put in place to help a driver be successful. So we found that over the years, it's best to talk to your drivers and, you know, find out what they want to do with their careers and help them direct their careers. It's called the One CRST career path. So we allow drivers to tell us what they want to do, and we do our best to facilitate what they're looking to do. Can we do that with everybody? No, but it's been very successful. Drivers are getting to choose what they want to do. Drivers are getting a chance to, you know, experience different things, and they're having a really good time. So our career path team has been phenomenal with, you know, customizing your career path and doing different things. So it's a pretty cool program we do offer new students, and it helps them to decide what's going to be best for them and helps them tell us what they need and gives us the opportunity to try to facilitate it.
That's fantastic. And one of the things that I do here at the school is work with the career placements. I like to hear that there's a company like yourself that is elaborating on that as well and helping these people find their foot in the door with this new industry that they're joining. Well, wonderful. All right, so at this time I would love to open up the phone lines for anybody who would like to ask any questions. Kind of go down the line a little bit here, and if you want to type your question in as well, you can do that as well. Looks like Nader, do you have I don't know that you have a microphone, but you're more than welcome to click your microphone and ask any questions that you might have. Let's see. Nader, if you want to click on your microphone and ask a question. Otherwise, you can type it in the chat. He said no, mic isn't working. If you have any questions, feel free to type it in there for me. Let's see. Nelson, do you have any questions for Steve this evening? Nelson, if you have a microphone, you're more than welcome to click on your microphone and okay. Do you guys offer heavy equipment operation courses? I'm looking to practice on skid steer. Nader, I would be more than happy to answer that question for you. We'll go over that here in just a few minutes, okay? Nelson, I don't see a question from you yet. Omar Cervantes, do you have a question for Steve this evening? More than welcome to click on your microphone.
No, everything's good.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, Omar.
Thanks.
Okay, Chandrika, do you have any questions for Steve this evening? You can click on your microphone. Go ahead and try it now, Chandrika, if you have any questions.
No, I don't have any questions.
Fantastic. I know Steve is very thorough. I did get a question in the chat, Steve. Do you guys have a pet policy?
We do not have a pet policy. A lot of what we do is pharmaceutical transport, food transport, and we're going into a lot of clean areas. So we do not have a pet policy, but if your pet is a service or emotional support animal, those are the exceptions. So if they're emotional support animals with documentation, they are allowed on the trucks. That's not a problem, but we don't have a standard pet policy.
Okay, good question though. To elaborate on that a little further, what about a rider policy? Do you guys have any rider policy programs?
We do. As long as the individuals are over the age of 10, they can ride with you in a truck. And there's a $17 a month fee for that. That covers the insurance on your rider. But as long as the individuals are over the age of 10, they can ride with you on a truck.
Fantastic. And what about, are there any contracts to sign? That's another question I got in the
No. Chat. No, we do not ask our drivers to sign contracts.
That's great.
If you graduate through National Truck Driving School, nobody should be asking you to sign any contract. So we will never ask you to sign a contract with us.
That's wonderful. All right. Let's see. Did I miss anybody that wants to ask any questions before Steve takes the rest of his evening to himself? You can go ahead and unmute yourself if you'd like, or you can ask your question through the chat. All right. Well, I'm not getting any more, Steve. I'd be more than happy. Is there any kind of phone number that you want to give out or a point of contact that you would like to provide for everybody this evening?
Sure. I will give my cell phone number. So my personal cell phone number, if you have any questions, would be 904-234-2306. Or you can reach Kayla at National, and she has all the contact information for me and any other additional information as far as brochures and business cards at the school with them.
Absolutely. And I did go ahead and type in your contact in the chat to everyone. So if anybody has any further questions, they can always reach out to you. Or like you said, they can reach out to me. I'd be happy to get you guys in touch. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Steve. I really appreciate you coming on as always, and we will see you here shortly, and you have a safe trip.
Yes, ma'am. I will see you shortly.
Thanks, Steve.
Good luck, y'all.
All right, everyone. We're going to continue our webinar here for the next few minutes and go over some things about the school itself here. So just to go a little further into what we do here at National, we do have thousands of drivers that have had their very first truck driving experience in our trucks. We have multiple different types of trucks, ranging from cab over engines with a sleeper to conventional condos, regular sleepers, and day cabs. If you've never seen the inside of a truck, this might be a good representative as to what you can see when you climb up into one of these sleeper cabs. You got your driver's seat here, your co-pilot seat here. Your bunk might fold up into a table, it might just stay a bed. Just depends on the type of truck that you are in. Lots of storage for all of your needs. You know, they have luxury, nice, comfortable seats because that's where you're spending most of your time is in that driver's seat. A lot of them, like Steve said, come with their mini fridge or microwave. They have the converters for all of your electronics, some TVs. Some of them provide them, some of them don't. Just depends on the company that you're with. But all the luxuries of home, just in a more compact space. Different driving jobs. You can haul freights of all kinds. Anything that you can think of. Most things that you've touched in your life have come off of a truck at some point or another. You can remain primarily in a specified area of the country. And most companies do offer weekly home time with great pay, steady runs, and company benefits. A little bit of the driver pay scale. This is based off of 2019 to 2020. So it was before the pandemic hit. But honestly, as you heard from Steve, that they start their first year drivers off on that 60 to 80 range. And I feel like that's a pretty good representation of what the pay is right now. But we're going to go with this because it is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Starting range around 46,000. Honestly, I think what Steve is saying is a little closer to reality here. Some school qualifications. National training will review your driving record, your criminal background, physical abilities, administer drug screens, and most importantly, we want to know your intensity to succeed. We ensure that you can benefit from this training before you start our program. And a good way of doing that is making sure that you are employable. We do have a 4-week residence hands-on training. Just some pictures of instructors with the students in the trucks over the years. We do have this wonderful 1.25 mile private 2-lane highway that I was explaining earlier. It's a great way to learn how to drive a truck. It's a controlled environment. You're not dealing with other cars on the road or traffic or any kind of distractions. You're able to focus on what you need to do to learn how to drive that truck. We also have a state-of-the-art simulator that we take a lot of pride in. This is a great tool for learning and for touching up some certain skills that you might have a little more difficulty with. It's a great tool that we use. We do have a career services department. It is one of the departments I am in charge of. We have been perfecting our graduate to work program for over 43 years, and it really does work. Our career services department starts working with students on the very first day of resident training school. We use one-on-one private counseling sessions to direct our students to companies that would be a good match for both the company and the student. We want to ensure that you're going to be able to stay with that company for at least a year. We want to make sure it's a good company for you and your family to match your lifestyle. We do have a job board as well, linked right on our website on truckschool.com, where drivers can go on and look at different companies that are hiring throughout the country. We don't just focus on this area of the country, it's all over the U.S. Lots of different companies are out there hiring. You might ask, where do you stay if you come to school and you're coming from out of town or even out of state? Really, you can stay anywhere you want, but if you're looking for the best deal, we definitely suggest the Green Cove Springs Inn. It's located about 7 miles from our training grounds. The Green Cove Springs Inn, all the rooms come with a microwave, refrigerator, free cable with HBO, and free Wi-Fi that's really fast. We do have special rates for our students there. A double occupancy room is $902 for the 4 weeks. Breaks down to about $34 a night. Our single occupancy rooms are $12.89 for the 4 weeks. Go over a little bit about the cost, fees, and financing for our truck driving school. The tuition for the school is $7,495. We do offer multiple types of financing, and we have some outside financing with banks and credit unions. We work with workforce, vocational rehab, veterans, the TAA, income share agreements, Mia Share, they're one of our top lenders here, in-house financing, and tuition reimbursement, as Steve was mentioning how they pay a monthly stipend to drivers who come to work for them who went through a school like ours. So we have been doing this for a long time. It's all good. We have it all. We have the companies and the jobs. We have the industry recognition. We have impeccable governmental relations. We have guaranteed tuition financing for everyone. And we have over 40,000 graduates that came possibly before you. We have a program that is really fun to complete. And we have an awesome training facility. We take a lot of pride in our facility here, and it's state of the art, that's for sure. We do appreciate all of our students from the Department of Veterans Affairs, Department of Vocational Rehab, State Vocational Rehab Programs, State Workforce Programs, and the Bureau of Indian Affairs. National training is where the trucking companies come for new drivers. So not just CRST, we have a multitude of companies that we deal with hand in hand. We have about 10 different companies that come and talk to all of our students here. But beyond that, we have relationships with over 150 different trucking companies. At this time, I would like to open the phone lines again for some more questions if you guys have any questions regarding the school. So Nader, I know you asked a question a little earlier, asking if we offer heavy equipment operation courses. We absolutely do, and I would love to talk with you more about it. If you want to give us a call tomorrow, our admissions office and our office here is 904-272-4000. So I'm going to put that in the chat for you as well, and it'll come up on the screen in just a few minutes. We would love to talk to you more about your interest in heavy equipment operations. Chauncey, did you have any questions for me this evening? You can click on your microphone if you like and ask your question. Or you're more than welcome to type it in.
Oh, no, ma'am.
All right. Nader, did you have any other questions? I know you were interested in that heavy equipment, and like I said, we're more than happy.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic. Nelson Yaboa, did you have any questions for me this evening? Nelson, if you would like, you can click on your microphone and ask a question. All right. Omar, did you have any questions for me this evening?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. We'll see you soon, Omar.
Okay.
All right. Chandrika, did you have any questions for me this evening regarding our school?
No, ma'am. I'm just ready to begin.
Fantastic. Are you joining a class with us here soon?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be down June the 20th.
Fantastic. Well, we so look forward to having you here. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
If anybody has any questions in the meantime, between now and the end of the webinar tonight, feel free to type them into the chat. I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, so just a few special announcements before we wrap it up tonight. Our next truck webinar is going to be Tuesday, June the 21st, 2 weeks from tonight at 6:30. Our special guest that night will be Chuck Sakachi from Schneider. Always love having Chuck on. We do have another open house coming up on July the 9th. It's a Saturday. It takes place from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We always have a company or two come out here, show you guys our wonderful facility, even put you up in a truck and take you for a ride. So we would love to have you here to join us. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining our truck webinar tonight. Contact your representative or our admissions office first thing tomorrow. Our admissions office phone number is 1-800-488-7364. Your lost time is costing you big money. It's all good. Just make sure you call. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. In order to sign off of the webinar, you can go to File, Exit, Leave Webinar. That's exit, leave webinar. Go file, exit, leave webinar.
Okay.